Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Peralta's Played. We are back for the month of October. We're actually recording this on the 1st of November, but it was because the weekends fell so close to the end of the month that it just made sense to do it in the 1st of November. So here we are. We're going to be discussing everything I played this month, and then as usual we're going to be flipping to what's been happening news-wise and any trailers we want to watch. So let me just get up my Peralta's Played checklist. 1 second, can't find it. There we go. So first off, let's go through everything here, of course. So last month we finished off here, so we were kind of going from these videos on. I brought Shadow of Mordor back for stream. This was Tater's request. And yeah, I've always wanted to play these games. I just always get so far and then stop. So going back to this was fun. Obviously we did it for an edit as well, so we've got the longer form video there, and then we've got the edit as well. We finished Halo 2 this month, at the beginning of the month, which is crazy because you guys will see, but we've went through so much Halo in the last month alone. Like, I played Halo 1, like, let's go back. I know I said obviously we've done all that, but I played Halo 1 here, and that was most of it, like, pretty quick, 2 months ago. Then we left it for a bit, and I finally got on to Halo 2 just before last month. And then just after last month, we finished it. So we finished Halo 2. That's done now. I've done some Baldur's Gate here as well, as you guys can see. I'm still going through. We just got to this here where the party met Vlaakith. If you guys want to follow that, of course, keep an eye out. We will be going back to this. It's been a series of unfortunate events. Ash has had some personal things to be sorted. Nothing bad. Actually very good, opposite way, but a lot of things to be sorted. And then I am going in for eye surgery, so this is something that's worth noting as well. This is probably going to be my last video for well, actually it's not. It's going to be my last stream for a little bit, and thus the last live VOD that's going to be going out for a bit. I do have some videos still banked, ready to go out. We still have the Batman Halloween video that hasn't gone out yet, for Arkham Asylum, and then we also have Gears of War that Lily and I were playing the other day that I've still got held back for the time being because I'm going to be putting that out as an edited and non-edited video again. So you guys will get a little bit of Peralta next week, even though I'm not here. Of course, 4.5 for Rivals has come out, where I'm discussing it here with Nate, and then obviously playing it here. As well as this, we got announcement of the zombie mode, which is also here. Nate and I managed to get on his stream. If you haven't, by the way, check out Nate Mez. Shout out at Nate Mez. Can I do that? Is Nate not in chat? Nate Mez. Let's still do it though, right? Yeah. Go and check out Nate. Nate and I managed.
My daughter's favorite maps.
Brilliant. That was phenomenal. That was everything. That was actually everything. Nate and I got to Nightmare 4. That's what I've been trying to say for the past minute. We finished that, and then we actually went back in with Gagita and Tater. Tater already had it, but we wanted to get Gagita it, so Gagita now has the Queen Slayer title as well, which is obviously a big win. So yay! Going back down here, Dune, we have finished. Tater and I have gotten Dune up to the point where the story is finished for the time being. I do want to go back. I have loads of side stuff still to do, so I need to do that at some point. But yeah, obviously done that. Cosmic Invasion as well, the demo came out. Go and watch that one. It's about 20 minutes. It's actually there's nothing edited out of this, but it's a very fun demo. I really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the full game to come out. We're going to talk a little bit about that later. We started Mission Log. Now, I talked to you guys about this previously, but Mission Log is going to be my MMO series. And again, that's going to come up a little bit later as well. My MMO series, that's the sci-fi version, then Quest Log is going to be the fantasy version. And the idea being we're going to go through and play MMOs from start to finish and kind of complete them, essentially. So we've done 2 episodes of that so far. We've got episode 1 here and episode 2 here, and we are playing as a Sith Warrior, primarily because Sith Warrior was actually my main and has been my main for many years in SWTOR. So we're going back, kind of going through it again. It's very nostalgic. I'm really enjoying it. So if you guys have ever been a fan of SWTOR, KOTOR, Star Wars in general, this is for you. Definitely. Then we have Yakuza 0, which you guys can see a lot of through the past month. And this was a promise I made to Finn when we played Yakuza Kiwami. In that I would start Yakuza 0 straight away. I did start it. I didn't get back to it for ages, but we've finally gotten back to it. It's now on one of the more pressing games on the channel. We have some issues with it because I was crashing during some of the streams, but it's not just limited to Yakuza, it's across the board. But we've been having some troubles, but it's the same stuff as always, so I'm just kind of moving on with it now. So if you guys ever find that a video has been stitched together, or you find that the stream goes down mid-stream, I'm going to make a command for this, by the way, but if you ever see that the stream goes down midstream, it is what it is at the moment. I'm not gonna get as angry as I was getting, because it's pointless, you know. Technology sometimes you just don't work it out, and if it's serviceable, and it's serviceable enough, yes, it means I have to render some videos again, which isn't ideal, but it's not the end of the world, and I'm just gonna fight through it. You know, one day we'll get it sorted one way or the other. It'll be either the driver gets resolved, or we change graphics card eventually down the line, or whatever. So I'm not going to get as pissed off as I am, because everything else on the PC works fine. So anyway, we have gotten a decent bit into Yakuza 0 now. I think we're about, when I last checked, we're about 10 hours in, something like that. Maybe even longer. Let's have a check. 3 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 11 hours, 14 hours, and then we had the ones from previous. Let me just scroll all the way back. I'm going to go a long way here. Bear with me. You guys can look at all these videos, these cool videos I did. And then we have 2 here, which were, so it's a 14 there, so that's 17. Wow, we've done a lot more. That's 19 hours. So we put 19 hours into Yakuza so far. So that's actually not that bad. That's much better than I thought. So chuffed about that. And then where are we? We were down here. We jumped a little bit ahead, but actually I need to talk about Halo 3. So Nate was doing a subathon, and I said to Nate that we would do something for it that was pretty cool. And luckily I managed to, that's why I raced through Halo 2, by the way, because Nate and I were going to play Halo 3 together, and we finished it in one sitting. Finishing the fight in one stream took 5 hours, 17 minutes, but we absolutely, we flew through it. And I loved it. It was so fun. I'm a big Halo enjoyer now. I think a lot of people in chat will be happy to hear that. I'm a self-proclaimed Halo enjoyer now. I'm reading the books. I'm enjoying the books. I'm vibing. Yeah, big Halo enjoyer now. So that's going to come up again in a little bit, because Halo's big on everyone's mind at the moment for a number of reasons. But yeah, so I finished Halo 3, and we jumped straight into Halo 3 ODST as well, which took me, so I started 13 days ago, but we actually finished it 2 days ago. So a little bit of a break in between there, but we did smash through it. I've got to say, Halo 3 ODST is my least favorite of the games I've played so far, primarily because it is so different to playing as I now call him, John Halo. I know a lot of people call him that, but I love calling him John Halo. It's such a different experience, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's bad. It's just not what I expected. Or it is what I expected, but it's not what I take away from the Halo games. So for me, a cool experience. I get what they're trying to do. I get that they want to kind of strip you of those powers and make you think a little bit more about the Halo universe, but not necessarily something I'd like. Is he looking at himself again? I'm looking at myself again, Lynch. I'm looking at myself again. So not my favorite experience in the Halo universe, but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Right, where are we next? Just started there. Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, can't see his hands either suspiciously. There you go, J-Bird. I'll sit like this for the rest of the stream. 1 second. So we started Pokemon Legends ZA. I haven't played. I'm not doing that all day. We started Legends ZA, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a really fun Pokemon game. I've done bits, dribs and jabs of Pokemon games on the channel previously, but I've never actually completed one fully and like done the whole thing on stream. Like I did play all of Legends Arceus on stream, but I didn't do like VODs like I do now. Oh geez, at least wipe them off. Jaybird. A bit of decorum, please. So, yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I want to do more Pokemon content anyway, so this is going to be like my first proper foray. And what I really enjoyed about the thumbnails, which kind of got wrecked halfway through, was I was doing like the rank ups. So I was doing like Z to Y, Y to X, X to W, W to V, and then we get to here and it goes V to F, and which is why I did the thumbnail like that. Talk about elevation. Also touching your face a lot during his worrying. I shake my head at you, Jaybird. I'm ignoring you now. But we've done 8 episodes of that so far. Some big streams, as this one here is like 5 hours. Some smaller ones as well, 1 hour and stuff. A little bit shorter here as well. So either way, really enjoying the game. Want to play more? We'll be getting back to that at some point. Then I've missed this one as well, the Voyager demo. So this Star Trek Voyager game is sort of. It's like a choose your own adventure game, and I don't know how I don't know like what I can liken it to, really. But it's also like a maintenance game as well, where you're maintaining like a colony in a way. Obviously, like Janeway does during the Voyager show. So it's actually a very fitting genre of game to the genre of TV that it was. The genre like this, what Star Trek Voyager was. I didn't love the space combat in it. It really wasn't my favorite thing, but everything else was really cool. Seeing the story diverge from what you know and being able to go through those important choices from the show and kind of make different ones or see how that succeeds or fails depending on who you send on the missions is obviously cool. So I can't wait for that to come out. We'll be playing that when that comes out fully. We next have Jurassic World Evolution, and that's probably the only video I'm going to do in it, if I'm being completely honest. Because it was just sort of, we might do another one, I don't know. But it was mainly just an intro to the game. I've been playing on my own time thereafter, but I enjoy it. It's a park simulator game. There's not insane amounts to say about this, other than I think it looks really good, and the fact that they like let you kind of go into a bigger depth of the dinos in this one, because you can have male and female dinos, and there's a lot more like kind of ways you can have your like visitors interact with the dinos is obviously fun. So that's that. Dispatch. So Dispatch episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 are out as current, and really enjoyed the game. I've kind of always enjoyed a little bit of a story-based choose your own adventure game, and this is that. I think this. Some people are saying this is sort of the most spiritual successor to Telltale. I haven't really played any others to kind of. I've played some Telltale games. I haven't really played any others though to kind of compare against. But I did enjoy what Dispatch is doing. I like that. I think it goes a little far in the gratuity of the adult themes, but I like the fact that they're going for some more adult themes. That's interesting in its own way, especially in the superhero genre. But yeah, a little bit egregious in places for me personally. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I can't attest, and people keep asking me, is it good? I can't attest to it. Hello, Taylor, welcome in. Congrats on second. I can't attest to it. It's wide spanning effect, but I think I already want to do a second playthrough. So we might, once it's all out, do like a full run, like an alternate reality full run. So that's something that we might do down the line. And I think that's everything that's come out this month that we've discussed. Just there. Jaybird redeems stretch. 1 second. Let's stretch. Okay. So that's Peralta's place this month. That's what we've played. I returned from taking my dogs outside. Welcome back, Faustus. So yeah, we've played a lot of fun stuff this month. Again, next month is going to start slow because I am going to be a little bit out of commission. I don't know how long for. It could be a few days. It could be a... Jaybird, stop making me stretch. It could be a few days. It could be a week or two. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see where we end up with that. Obviously, a lot of these games are going to be needing to be finished, so it might be a quieter month, a quieter news month for Peralta's played. But anyway, Jaybird, I'm just going to start ignoring them. I'm just going to start ignoring them. In fact, I'll do that one, and I'm going to ignore them from there. Stop making me stretch. Stop making me stretch. Okay. So the next three articles we're going to look at, I'm going to run over all of them and just discuss them in brief detail. That's going to blind my eyes out. Saudi Arabia's acquisition of Electronic Arts faces pushback from game developers. Petition calls on FTC to scrutinize this deal closely. And then we have Microsoft confirms Xbox Game Pass ultimate price increase delay in some countries, but not the US or UK. And then we have Amazon layoffs spell doom for Lord of the Rings MMO. And of course, that comes after an update on New World, which has also been cancelled. So, rounding these up really quickly, because I feel like these all really go into the same category of game development in general as a cutthroat industry, usually, but it's not great at the moment, as you guys can see. Woo! Congrats on 5 stream streak, Taylor. Saudi Arabia bought EA last month, and now they're obviously saying that basically people are concerned that they're going to be losing their jobs. There's a lack of job security. EA is not a struggling company with annual revenues reaching 7.5 billion and 1 billion in profit each year. EA is one of the largest video game developers and publishers in the world. Unions say EA's success has been entirely driven by tens of thousands of EA workers whose creativity, skill, and innovation made EA worth buying in the first place. Yet we, the very people who will be jeopardized as a result of this deal, were not represented at all when this buyout was negotiated or discussed. So that's obviously not a great thing. Hydrate. Okay. We're going to see EA. Yeah, we're going to get to that. That's noted here as well. And not just even that, but BioWare in general. Which, don't get me wrong, I know BioWare hasn't put anything out that's like been overwhelmingly a success for a number of years, but BioWare is something that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, even still. BioWare is one name that comes up repeatedly as a studio at serious risk of closure as a result of the EA acquisition. It's been a decade since the storied RPG developer last produced a bona fide hit, but possibly an even greater threat to BioWare's future is its progressive narrative leaning. As former BioWare leader writer Trick Weeks put it, gay stuff may not be especially welcome at a studio owned by Saudi Arabia, a country that still criminalizes same-sex relationships. Some employees are already working on the assumption that the studio's days are numbered. Obviously, a lot of people are concerned about what that means for the Mass Effect game currently in development, as well as the potential future of the Dragon Age franchise, as well as just the fact that this is obviously a big step back for gaming in general. This one's obviously a little bit more worrying for me because I've been a big fan of those franchises for a long time. Oh, clicked something by accident there. This Sims is also a big yes, you're right, actually I didn't even think of that, Faust. Just good shout. So this one obviously not great across the board, but here we go. Last week, Microsoft sparked a backlash with its... This was in October 8th, by the way. Last week, Microsoft sparked a backlash with its decision to raise the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate from $19.99 to $29.99 a month, 50% increase that amounts to at least an extra $120 a year. To justify the price hike, Microsoft upped the number of day one releases per year to 75 and added Fortnite Crew and Ubisoft Classics for the first time ever. There were also upgrades to Xbox Cloud Gaming, but that didn't stop fans from reassessing whether Game Pass remained right for them. IGN's poll on the issue, which now has over 41,000 voters, shows Jaybird, I'm going to ignore you now. Only traditional Sims from now on. The nuclear family and Sims only. But that didn't stop fans from reassessing whether Game Pass remained right for them. IGN's poll on the issue, which now has over 41,000 voters, shows 53.9% of our audience will not subscribe to Game Pass at all. 19.9% said they were going for Ultimate despite the price rise. Stretching is good for you. Not 5 times in a row, David. Yeah, so this is a hard one for me. Not because of the price increase. Obviously, price increases, especially that much, is insane. But there's 2 ways to look at this, and I still think it's because the gaming industry is trying to suck dry what it has left at the moment. There's 2 ways to look at this. Refund me my precious Peralta pebbles. Not currently because it stopped working for whatever reason. Unless Snake can do it. I have two ways of looking at this. First off, I do Game Pass content as part of one of my channel things. It's just leading to an eventual video game industry crash. It is 100%. You're right. My thing is I do Pride of Game Pass. For that reason alone, I am probably going to still be subscribing, even though I hate the increase. But I'm very glad that most people will not be. And I can't really lecture people who I'm going to then just subscribe. So I'm not saying, why is there redemption to play an ad? Right. I'm good. Just give me like 5 minutes. So what we're gonna say here is that I don't want to. I'm not preaching to anyone on this one. I think if you want to get rid of Game Pass, I think you're in the right to do it. I think, in fact, I would suggest that people do get rid of Game Pass if you feel like this is wrong, and you feel like they're trying to gouge you. I will offer a counterpoint, however. That counterpoint being, if you're playing games on Game Pass all the time, I'm not necessarily. I'm playing a lot more than I used to, but if you're playing games on Game Pass all the time, and it's still, if you would buy a game a month that equates to that price, which I buy games there and thereabouts, not necessarily everything that goes on Game Pass, but there or thereabouts. Or even if you're buying a game every other month that equates to double that, then it's sort of worth it, right? Like, for example, and I'm not saying that this is the right, I'm not saying that they're right. Please don't take it as that. Outer Worlds 2, right? If I wanted to buy Outer Worlds 2, because I am intending on playing it eventually. If I wanted to buy Outer Worlds 2 on Steam, I'm currently looking at $59.99. So essentially £60, which would be this. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's one game. That's never mind if you're playing Halo, which currently I am. That's never mind if you're playing, I know a lot of people right now are playing that PAX Day, the new MMO. There's Ninja 4 Gaiden that's just gone on there. There's, what else is there just gone on there? There's another one that's just gone on. 1 second. Claire Obscure's on there now. Gears of War Reloaded, which I'm playing at the moment, that's on there currently. Atomfall I want to play at some point. Silk Song's on there, you know. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. Ninja Gaiden 4. You knew exactly what I meant, Finn. You knew exactly what I meant. If people are going to be facetious, I'm going to start tiring people out. Anyway. So, Amazon layoffs. It's no secret that Amazon Games has been working on some version of a Lord of the Rings MMO, although the game has already been cancelled once due to contract disputes, and the second version, which is being worked on in conjunction with Embracer, hasn't been seen or heard of in a while. The recent news of Amazon's mass layoffs shift towards casual games, and specifically away from MMOs and AAA games, raised questions about the future of the Lord of the Rings MMO. However, Amazon had, and still hasn't, made an official proclamation regarding the game's demise. Ashley Amreen, a software engineer affected by those Amazon gaming layoffs, has more or less confirmed in a now deleted LinkedIn post via Rock Paper Shotgun that the Lord of the Rings MMO has seemingly been cancelled. In her post addressing the fact that she had been laid off, Ashley Amreen, a former engineer at Amazon Games, wrote, "This morning I was part of the layoffs at Amazon Games alongside my incredibly talented peers on New World and our fledgling Lord of the Rings game. You all would have loved it." Her revelation suggested it would still have been a while before the new MMO launched, but it was previously described as open world MMO adventure in a persistent world set in Middle-earth, featuring the beloved stories of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings literary trilogy when it was first announced. Read this whenever, but there's a rumor today that a remake of the OG of God of War is being made. That's I've heard that a few times, but I'm hoping so. I would definitely play it. I'm going to be talking about remakes in a bit anyway. Just to clarify, I'm not annoyed at people in chat. I'm okay. It's just when you're trying to do a podcast and you're doing it live and you're seeing some messages that are less than helpful in you trying to keep a flow of conversation, it's difficult. That's not against anyone. That's not against anyone specific. That's not having a target. That's just, then you guys know what it is. You know, we're doing this live. It's hard for me sometimes. I lose train of thought. Please keep that in mind. Love you all. Okay, right. New World. So we just heard about that there, but New World has had its active development basically paused, stopped. After 4 years of steady content updates and a major new console release, we've reached a point where where it is no longer sustainable to continue supporting the game with new content updates. In the coming months, we'll provide more details on what to expect and other essential information. Rest assured, our intention is to keep servers operating through 2026, allowing our community time to continue their adventures in Eternum. Additionally, New World Eternum will still be downloadable, blah, 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 blah. And then they've got a big FAQ saying basically you can buy the game still, you won't get a refund unless you've got it recently. All that type of stuff. So if you guys want to read any of that, you guys can read that. And yeah, long story short, the game's dead. Now, usually I'm the type of person who then goes, right, well, I'm not interested in playing that game anymore because I know it's going to die. But because we're doing mission log at the moment, / quest log, I'm actually interested to go back in. I kind of almost want to document this game before it goes forever, so to speak. So I'm going to call on anyone who wants to play with me, who has it from previous, because I do have this game from previous, or otherwise will want to get it, and join me for quest log, because I think I want to do this as the first run of quest log. I think it'll be interesting to play a game that has a ticking timer on it. Essentially, it is going to die. I find that fascinating, actually, and I don't know why. I usually don't, but I think it's gonna be fun. I think it'll be an interesting kind of thought piece in a way. So if anyone would like to do that, if anyone's out there who's interested in that, obviously typically someone who's I'm relatively close to or relatively aware of, let me know, because we'll do that. So that's the kind of news articles for this month. Obviously all very negative news actually this month, which is a bit of a shame, but that's how that goes sometimes. And now we're going to move to trailers. Now let me just pause that music quick, and the first one up is a remake, as we were just talking about, and that's Halo Campaign Evolved. Now a lot of people have opinions on this. I think a lot of people are going to be discussing this when I show you guys in chat, when I send this in chat, when I play this, should I say. But we'll watch the video. If anyone wants to drop any opinions they have, and I do mean anyone, I'm not trying to chastise anyone from what happened previously, please drop your feelings on it. I want to discuss it. I have a few thoughts myself, so.
According to the data in their networks, the ring has some kind of deep religious significance. They call it Halo. They believe that Halo is some kind of weapon.
What sort of weapon is it?
One with unimaginable power.
Chief, you gotta find the cartographer. We'll keep him busy as long as we can.
Fire Team Charlie, we're on our way.
Touchdown! Hit it, Marine! Somebody order a warthog.
The Covenant are putting up a real fight. The cartographer must be here.
Rock and roll! Rock and roll!
Give them hell, Chief.
Okay. So I'm going to just pull it back. What I'm going to say is, because a lot of people have been discussing different parts of this, and I want to say, let me just get what I'm looking for. This, right.
With unimaginable.
A lot of people are complaining about how this looks, and that it's too polished, and that it doesn't kind of keep with the original graphics. Now, I want to say before I get into any points that I am a relatively new Halo enjoyer. So I don't have the same links to the original as so many people do in chat, and never mind just chat, you guys watching at home. So that's important, right? That's important. That's an important point. This looks nice, and I expect to have only a brief memory as the originals. Yeah, that's part of it. That's definitely part of it. I think all polish is a very funny complaint to have. I agree, Faustus. I personally don't have an issue with the game looking like a realistic game. I don't have an issue with that because the game that Halo was, there's two parts to it, right? Was there some stylization there? Of course there was, but if the technology had been where it is today, would they make something like this? Probably. It's a hard one to say. It was of the time, and the thing is, times change and things change, and I think 90% of the stylization comes from the poly count. Of course it does. So you can't expect something stylized, but it was stylized born of technical limitations. Yeah, exactly. So in my head, that Halo Combat Evolved will always exist. Halo Campaign Evolved is for new players, because I read a Twitter post, like I think it was today actually. Someone was saying, I tried to get my son to go through the original game and he just wasn't vibing with it, because it's not. If you want people to be interested in your franchise further into here's an example for you, right? So people are complaining about Bloodlines 2 for the same reason as this, right? Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. The first Vampire the Masquerade game came out, was it like 24 years ago or something like that? Something like that. And then the new ones just come out this year. So number 2 is 25 years after. I'm not saying that's as big a gap as Halo, because there's been a remaster of that already. But what I will say is that the same applies, right? You can't expect a game to stay static forever. You can't expect development of games to stay static forever. This is what games are now. And if you don't want to play this, then go and play the original. There's no issue with that. If you don't want to, vote with your pocket. I always say this. I say this with everything. If you don't like something, don't buy it. If you don't like something, let people know about it. But there's a constructive way of doing that. We can have a discussion here. I can say, for example, that even though I've just said what I said, I think this is stupid. And I don't know if this has obviously been in other games because I haven't played them all yet. I think this is one of the most stupid things ever. Why have they decided and then had this? That's stupid, personally, to me. And that's okay, because I think that's stupid. But I can get past this. Some people are saying the buildings are too shiny. Some people are saying that the architecture is like now shiny metal instead of like basically worn down stone as prior. And I get it in the sense of they want the Forerunners to feel more ancient. But the thing is that, and this is the way I rationalize in my head, 343 Guilty Spark is the caretaker of this ring. There's nothing saying that they wouldn't clean all the architecture, and it's not grubby on the inside at any point, even in the original. So I don't know. I don't kind of vibe with that one. I wonder if they're not trying to unify Covenant engineering because the needle looks more like a carbine now. Maybe. I also think that people were complaining about the Warthog as well. And sorry, this is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard in gaming. I don't know why it matters so much. Maybe you guys can enlighten it for me. Where am I looking? 1 second. I had it there for a second. People are complaining about this. That the gun only holds 32 rounds instead of 60? Is it really that deep? I'm sorry, is it really that deep? I don't think I've ever looked at a game and thought, oh my gosh, game's broken, game's bad because it's got less rounds in the gun. What? Now, what is interesting to me, and I think this is why I'll be playing the game more than anything else, those 28 bullets are cut content. They're going to add some new missions to the game that are somewhat prequel-ish, and they're going to involve Sergeant Johnson and Chief. I'm really excited about those. The people getting mad about ammo count is so silly. Look, I completely agree. You can be angry about the story being different. You can be angry about the visuals to a degree. Being angry about ammo and being angry about I still think this is stupid. But I wouldn't not buy the game over it. The Needler thing is stupid, but I wouldn't not buy the game over it. You know what I mean? I think the game looks clean, and I'm sorry to say I will be buying this day one, and I will be playing it day one, and hopefully with friends. I do think, I will say, I don't love the way this guy looks. It looks really, like, I don't know whether it's just the way it's been rendered, but this looks really low quality to me. I don't know why. Wonder if I won't cover that part with Lyndon Chief meets Johnson in the books. Maybe. That could be, yeah. That could be, you could be right. You could be right. But yeah, I'm excited. They're going to be adding some new enemies. They're going to be changing it up a little bit, changing some of the encounters. And also, I think what I want to say, to me, it looks like it should be more metallic and look a bit plasticky. The armor, yeah, I agree. What I will say is, I think Chief looks great. That's saying he looks a little weird, like a Bionicle. It does actually. That is exactly what it looks like. I don't think this is a good representation of the game, if I'm being completely honest. This is, everything they've shown here is just the silent cartographer mission, right? It's one mission. And I don't think that's enough to make a informed decision on. There's so much more. I mean, I know it's a 10-hour game, but there's so much more to see, even in the first game, than just this beach. And I think it'll be interesting to see how they handle so much of this game. I really am interested in it. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm going to want some people to play it with me, 100%. So I will be playing this. I think my main complaint is that MCC did such a good job at updating the game. It was a bit stylized, but that means it also stands up still. Whereas 3 is really showing its age. CE does not play weirder than the other games, though. So does play weirder than the other games, though. So I could see updating it for that, if nothing else. If I'm being completely honest, that's probably the one thing I sort of agree with. I feel like 3 deserves love. And there's rumors going around that 2 and 3 are also going to get upgraded in a similar way to this and bring out, like, they're basically kind of almost going to do an FF7 remake standard thing of like going through all the, like, obviously I know FF7 was broken into 3 games to do the remake, but I think they're basically going to go through and update the full story to a degree. I'm not against that. But I do think 3 was, I think you're right, 3 is one that needs the work. But that was just a rumor, so I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, that's Halo. I think we've discussed enough about Halo today. Let's go on to, and this is a game that I haven't actually managed to play yet, but I did play the first one, and I'm just wanting to have a look at this and see what it's about. FF7 style, Nomura writing the Halo story. No, I more meant just like that they're going back and taking a game and really bringing it forward in terms of, I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like the remake as well, funnily enough, but you know what I mean. Anyway.
We got ourselves a hero. This ought to be good. Let the killing commence.
So I actually really enjoyed the first Outer Worlds. Did you guys play it? If you didn't, you should, because Obsidian is obviously a very good studio. Number of games that have come from Obsidian that I really enjoy. I played the first one, but this looks better, if I'm being completely honest, and I'm really excited to try it out at some point. But I want to play Outer Worlds again on the channel for VOD's sake, so that when we go into Outer Worlds 2, I know it's technically a separate game, but yeah, we'll be playing that at some point. I haven't, but I heard good things from people who weren't expecting them to copy Bethany Esda. Bethany Esda, I love that. So that one's going to be something we're going to play at some point for sure. Then we've got Arc Raiders. Now, I'm not a big extraction shooter person, but Yorkie and I were talking about this the other day, and I think it looks quite cool. It looks quite interesting, actually.
Doors are closing in 5.
They said the world above had ended. But ending endings are only for those who forgot how to begin again. So you learn to listen, to move quiet, think fast. Be ready to change your mind. Up there, the roads are twisted. The rules are gone. But if you are brave enough to wander and seek, who knows what you might find.
I think what I like about this... Oh, still going. I think I watched this. The aesthetic reminds me a bit of a game I played on Kickstart, Autonomica. I suppose it's sort of 80s retro futurism we're doing right now. I enjoyed the kind of goofy tone for part to it.
That's why I was asking for...
Do you know what I like about it? I like the fact that they're kind of doing the world's ended thing, but the world still looks vibrant and it's full of life still. I think that's something that so often isn't done. Usually people go for the post-apocalyptic setting or the frozen over setting or whatever. So seeing this world where the universe is still... Something's happened, yes. Government has collapsed or whatever. But it's still a world that is pretty and vibrant, and I think that's interesting to me in its way, and also somewhat hopeful. I mean, everything we just heard there, yeah, they're saying the world's ended, but has it actually ended, or is it different? And like, look at that, beautiful. So I'm really interested. I might play that at some point. Last up, we've got a Marvel game, because we've always got a Marvel game. This is Cosmic Invasion. This is the last trailer for, well, the latest trailer for this. And in this, we get a release date as well as a look at the last two heroes.
Fully charged.
Get ready to feel the heat. Phoenix Flame!
Dual repulsor blast. Turn him up, genie.
Power flows through me!
Iron cannon. Fire them up, Red. Power cosmic in action. We are Venom.
Vibranium blade!
Case closed.
Genuinely so excited for this game. It looks so good. It's got so many deep cut characters here, and some just obviously cool characters in general. But oh boy, is this the new Marvel rhythm game? It's not a rhythm game, but it's like the TMNT one we played, Metrica, if you remember that one. Looks great. It really does. Just every single character. Jean looks great. Iron Man looks great. Obviously, not big on fighting games, but the retro feel is absolutely on point. It just like it just sings to me. These as well. Like, look at this. Like, we've got Frank Castle, Ghost Rider. We've got Beta Ray Bill, Nova. Then on the other side, we obviously have Phyla Vel, She-Hulk. You know, it should have been a rhythm game. I don't think I'd be good at a rhythm game, but I'm very excited for that. We got the release date. Sorry, I didn't. December 1st. So a month away, guys. So that'll be on. I should be recovered by then. That'll be on the list of games to play. Yeah, very excited about it. So hopefully you guys will keep an eye out for that. And that's it for this month's Peralta's Played. And it's a little bit of a sad, like not a sad one. I'm not going to get upset, but it's a little bit of a somber note, let's say, because obviously I'm going to now finish stream here, and we won't be back for a few days at the very least. Bittersweet, yeah. But at least we've got to do this. At least we've got to talk about all the games that are coming, all the games that I've enjoyed this month, and we'll be back soon, very soon, hopefully, to continue on. I don't want to overhype, because what if I'm okay tomorrow and then I end up streaming? Can you imagine? What if it's not as blurry as I thought, and I'm literally like, guys, I'm going live at 5 tomorrow or something like that. So I might be back. Who knows? I probably won't be. But I'm just going to put it out there in case for some reason I'm fine. Just do a Nick Fury cosplay anyway. Well, my good eye's the one that's getting done this time. So I'm kind of fucked if that one, it's not playing ball. But yeah, thank you guys very much as always for hanging out. This has been a short stream, of course. Now we're going to raid Squiz, who is doing a 12-hour charity stream. For, I think it's bone cancer. I want to say it's cancer, definitely cancer, but I think it's bone cancer specific. If you guys can stay around at least for the raid, show some love, it would be really appreciated. Don't feel like you guys have to donate or anything like that. I'm not obviously asking that, but please kind of stay with the raid and go in and show some support. That'd be great. Wishing all the best for quick recovery. Yeah, thank you very much. But we're going to go and raid Squiz. We're going to go and say hello. If everyone can copy this, if you are subscribed, if you're not, just put Peralta raid or something. But if you are subscribed, just throw in the Peralta raid. And those watching on YouTube, this is the end of Peralta's Played October. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.